The Law and You, a look at laws in St. Vincent and the Grenadines which affect our daily lives. The Law and You, presented by lawyer panel R. Campbell QC and brought to you on SVG-TV as a public service.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, welcome to another presentation in this public service nation-building series, The Law and You. This is program number 1000. And it's coming to you on Monday, the 10th day of May, 2021. On this evening's program, we will do some reflections on the life and legacy of Mr. Parnell R. Campbell, Queen's Counsel, CVO, and also we'll do some reflections on the impact that the Law and You has had on various persons in the nation of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But before we get into those reflections, a few preliminaries. Firstly, and as usual, I would like to extend sincere condolences to those families who have suffered recent bereavements, and I pray that the Lord will grant you peace, strength, and comfort in your time of need. Secondly, I would like to express heartfelt thanks on behalf of the Campbell family and on my own behalf to the Spiritual Baptist Archdiocese of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Archdiocese Council, and also a special thanks to Miss Reverend Lucy Rogers. Yesterday we had a wonderful service of remembrance and thanksgiving for the life of the very Reverend Parnell R. Campbell, who was a Chancellor and Dean of the St. Elizabeth Spiritual Baptist Cathedral in Belmont. It was truly a moving and spirit-filled service, and we were truly touched by all of the tributes that were given, the expressions of sympathy, love, prayers, and support for our family during this time. So once again, thank you to the Spiritual Baptist family, and thank you for all those who participated in that service of remembrance. Thirdly, I would like to announce that a state funeral will be held in honor of the late Parnell R. Campbell CVO QC on Thursday, the 13th of May, 2021. His body will lie in Parliament between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12:15 p.m. on Thursday. The public will be welcome to view between the hours of 11 and 12:15 p.m. The procession will leave from the courthouse yard in Kingstown to the Methodist Church in Kingstown at 12:30. Viewing of the body at the church and tributes will start at 11, and the funeral service will begin at 2:30 p.m. That's at the Kingstown Methodist Church. The interment would be at the Kingstown Cemetery. COVID protocols will be in effect, and you can listen out for those guidelines which will be issued by the Prime Minister's office. We wish to thank you once again for all those persons who have shown their support to us, and special thanks to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for according my father a state funeral. Thank you. So at this time, we're going to be going on the streets under the Singer Gallery in usual fashion as my father did while he was alive when he celebrated a milestone of the Law and You. So let's hear from the public on how the Law and You and my father has impacted them over the years. Good day. Please state your name and please share with us how the Law and You has impacted you, or how Mr. Parnell Campbell has impacted you over the years.
Thank you very much. Well, Mr. Campbell has impacted my life because he gave me a job. You understand, he was my employer, and I'm deeply grateful that he saw something in me and decided to give me a job. But in relation to the Law and You program, it is indeed a nation-building program because you have the opportunity to learn so much things about the laws concerning our land. You know, in this day and age, information is key. And you can tune in every Monday night and you can learn something about the laws concerning St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's very informative, and as I said some years ago, it's through this program wherein I would have learned a lot about what our laws concern. And we know that he is no longer with us, but I trust that they would take up, the lawyers of this land would take up the mantle and they would band together and keep this program going, because it's indeed a means of building a better nation for St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Hey, my name is Marcel Foyle, and I've been a part of PR Campbell and Company for the past, well, you can say this year, 27 years. So I've been there for the inception of the law and you, which I have benefited over the years. Just being around Mr. Campbell and being very much a part of the law and you. I remembered quite vividly when he just started doing the law and you. It was done directly in his office. And there were times when we would have to go in and we would have to sit there while it is being taped and everything. So I'm very much a part of the law and you.
And how has the program impacted you?
Well, there's so much I would have learned. I've learned everything that I know now. I would have been a novice, I would say, at the laws, but when he introduced the law and you, I would go home and I would sit nightly and I would look at it, and it has benefited my family and myself, my relatives and my friends. It had benefited us tremendously.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, my name is Anna from Williams & Williams, and we knew Mr. Campbell for a very long time, working within the same legal firm, one of the firms. So he was always a good man and is well known. Even my neighbor spoke of him as a good man. Just last night we was talking about him. So my condolences to the family, and he would definitely be missed. Many years ago I watched the program with the land, different issues and so on. So yes, he's a good man, and he would be missed.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Well, Mr. Campbell was a very nice person. From knowing him and even by coming by his office, to my friend over there, he's a gentleman, a very nice person. I cannot say anything bad about him. And the Learn You, it's a very informative program. Like, if you want to know anything concerning the law and your rights, he used to explain it to the simplest way that you can understand. So it was very informative.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Well, it was a good program, and since he gone, lost him, so can't find what to say. 'Cause he was very good and learn you. And then from church, way back when. So we will miss him a lot, especially the program. Yeah, so you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
My name is Maul Jolly, I'm from Camden Park. Many a times I would have been watching the law and you, and really and truly it was so inspiring to me, because things I didn't know I learned, and I was so happy when Mr. Campbell came at the program, because things I used to go and spend money for doing, it saved me a lot when he came and speaking about all these different things. And there are so many things he speak about that I did not even know about, and many a times I would meet him on the street and tell him thanks for what he have doing to the country. And I just want to say to the family that my condolences, and may he rest in peace.
Over the years, he have been teaching me how to understand relationship concerning family affairs relating into lands and so on. And then to me, he was a nice fella. He was a good man. And then it just meant that he had was to go. Well, his time is up. And I wish that his soul go to God in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Campbell.
Well, I was employed by him in February 2006. And knowing him before, gentleman, and I always impressed by him. Whatever he said, the way he walks and everything. And working with him, I enjoy every bit of it. Because, I have learned a lot. What I didn't know before, I have learned a lot.
June Masters, and first let me express my condolences to the family and the friends of Mr. Campbell. I totally miss him, his face on TV. And I tell you, I have learned so much from that program. Every single episode taught me something new, and I will certainly miss him. And if there is any way that you can continue, I can tell you, especially for somebody coming into St. Vincent and wanting to learn about the laws of St. Vincent, it was absolutely essential for me, necessary and needed. So if you can continue, that would be really nice. And I will definitely miss him. So keep up the good work on his behalf, and my condolences again. He is missed.
Gentleman and somebody that we look up to in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and someone in high society. And I know that we all will miss him a lot, especially the people them who look at him, viewing him every Monday night. And he will greatly be missed. I know for sure, because he speak the truth, he come out with the truth, and some will, yes, he's speaking the truth and some will deny it. But we know with Mr. Campbell, he always come with the truth. And we will miss him, the country will miss him for sure. So you all have a blessed day.
Hello, my name is Leslie Ann Millington, and I am the Culture Research Assistant in the Department of Culture. I have known Mr. Campbell majority of my life, and I know him to be an upstanding civil servant. I know him to be an upstanding lawyer, and his contribution towards St. Vincent and the Grenadines through the law and you has been very substantial for the country, I suppose, because I have known cases, well, not known cases, but I've heard of cases that people have been using what he has taught them in the law and you to use in their situation and in their life. So I am very saddened by his death, and I wish his family and everyone else rest and strength in this time.
Personally, what I want to say, I don't know much about the program, to tell you the honest truth, but what I want to say about your father, I think for the many years that we've known him, our families knew each other, he is a man of great depth, and very thoughtful, and he's a man who never forgets. He remembers history from way back when, and that is something to be admired. So that's what I like to pay tribute and say, I really appreciate knowing your dad when he was around.
Well, I can safely say that the program, The Law and You, was very informative for me and my family. My mother always made it a point to look at it, and it helped persons who would not have understood the law normally, because it's not an easy topic, and a lot of the explanations went a far way in understanding the law. So we are grateful for it as a nation, as a people. I was very grateful to be informed in that manner.
How has Mr. Camber impacted your life personally?
Well, Mr. Campbell has known me for most of my life, and he was like a father figure to me. We always had good exchange, good conversation, wise counsel. So he would be missed by me, because I look forward to having those little conversations every time we meet, always with some sort of encouragement for me as a young person, and always interested in my future and where I'm going.
Hello, my name's Cheryl Bailey, formerly Cheryl McSheen. I was employed by Mr. Campbell in 1998 as an associate, And one of my duties as a young practitioner was to assist him with filming the law anew right from his very chambers. So on every Monday afternoon, chambers would be closed, we would erect the camera, and I would become not only a lawyer but a videographer for the afternoon. As a young practitioner back then in the late 1990s, sitting and listening to him do the law anew helped me as a young practitioner. It helped me to secure my knowledge in the law, not only with regards to what he would do for the nation. It helped us as younger practitioners to formulate our thoughts and to be better lawyers. What does Mr. Campbell mean to me? He is really and was everything to me. As you can hear, I came to St. Vincent from the United Kingdom, and if it wasn't for Mr. Campbell, I really don't know what I would do. I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to sit at his feet and to learn from him and to assist him as best I could with serving the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Finally, I'm just going to really miss him. I'm going to miss his counsel, his dedication to the people, and my fervent hope is only that I can do a small part in continuing his service to this country.
We're celebrating the 1000th program of The Law and You with Panel Campbell, and I'm asking questions of persons of whether The Law and You has had an impact on you, if there's anything you want to say about Mr. Panel Campbell, Principal.
Well, definitely, I find it was very educational, and I always look forward to hear him on topic concerning the law. He's going to be missed, and I hope that somebody would continue. I know it's a service for the public, and as he said, he done it free of cost, and I hope somebody could continue. I think the public can learn a lot from Mr. Campbell. Well, and condolence to his family.
All right, so growing up in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, every young child had to watch The Law and You. That was part of our parents instilling virtues in us in understanding the law. And Panel Campbell, affectionately known as PR, has really been a man that has inspired a lot of us. And a lot of lawyers have inspired a lot of young persons to go into law, understanding the law, because it was a time when only the affluent understand the law, and he made it simple so that the youngest and the not so intelligent could have understand the law. And we must indeed give him thanks, and we must praise the Lord for the life that he has lived. And now that he has journeyed home to be with his Lord, we pray that his family would find comfort knowing that he has indeed made a mark in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Thank you.
Well, Pierre and I are associates since political times. And to be quite frank, he will be missed, tremendously missed, not only by myself and others, but I think he would have made an impact throughout the country. And the Law and You program was not only educational, but it was advisory to a lot of people. He came to the rescue at points in time when they needed it. So I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, PR is irreplaceable. I'll tell you something personally. There was a good friend of ours who was on her death's bed. And I was delegated to see if I could raise some funds to help with the situation. When I approached PR and I told him so-and-so is having a difficult time and ready to die, he took out his checkbook and signed the check for me for $300 US. Without question put, without question asked. He said, Jerry, make sure she gets this for me. I took it to her and the lady cried. She said, because he and I always had our loggerheads, but he was a very forgiving person. So I don't think what you're hearing from me is new. PR was just a gentleman who will be greatly missed. Not only for the fact that he was a lawyer, but I think he made his contribution as the AG. He made his contribution in the sense that the revision of the laws of St. Vincent was done through him. That was he did it expeditiously. It was the Caribbean program. It was a program that he instituted in St. Vincent. And today it is paying dividends. Many of us have come and gone on and have not recognized the work of some of us. But PR is a living memory. He is an icon. And I hope to God that he will get his justice. You know, people talk a lot. And when I say justice, I mean his poetic justice in the sense that he deserves to be honored. And you can accept my sympathy, my deepest sympathy. As a matter of fact, I bought a card yesterday to send off because I couldn't find words to express it on the radio. So I'm typing up a nice little thing to put in the card and send to the family. My condolences.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Well, first of all, let me extend my sympathy and that of my family to you and the rest of Brother Pierre Shaman. I served with Pierre for a number of years in the parliament, and in the government, in the party, all of that. And I think he was an excellent gentleman in every sense of the word. Pierre looks out for all of us during the time he served with James Mitchell. He was straight up. If he opposes something, he tells us right up front where he stands. So you don't have to go and dodge on people to find out where Pierre stands on that. Very plain. And even after he left government, we meet pretty regularly on the streets and we exchange, pleasantries and so on. And nothing changed him. I recall very vividly when my son was shot in the United States. I ran into Pierre coming from one of the banks, I don't recall which one yet. And so he said, I heard about your incident. And so I explained to him what I heard. And I told him that I am now preparing myself to go to the United States because I want to bring home his body to bury. And I look at Pierre and he felt as if it's one of his sons that had lost his life. Just before we parted, to say he sympathized with me wasn't enough as far as Pierre was concerned. When he got to a little distance off, he turned back and he called me. He said, come here, man. I must give you some financial help because I know what taking on something like that would cost.
I think the Law New was a very informative program that really benefited the average person who may have been lacking some basic knowledge in various areas of the law. I think Mr. Campbell's program has helped to enlighten a lot of people, sharing his tremendous knowledge, and I think it's a great loss to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And my condolences to you and your family.
I think that the show is a very informative show. What I loved most was Mr. Campbell's delivery. When you listen to him, you don't have to be learned in the law to understand what was being said. As a lawyer myself, when I was in school and aspiring to be a lawyer, I was able to grasp many of the concepts and I learned a lot of the law from the show. So I think that it would be a good thing for it to continue. I would love to see it continue and continue to benefit the Vincentian population.
They felt 1,000 episodes today. So I'd like you to share how the Law New may have impacted you or how Mr. Campbell has impacted you as well.
Okay, well, I'm grateful to be speaking in regard to the QC who has left us. Well, we extend condolences first and foremost to the family and the legal fraternity has lost a great luminary. My experiences with Law New in particular is that I was fortunate enough in community college when Pierre came out to the college that I was on the program. I can't recall what episode it was, but he had an interview with a person in the law class. And I was fortunate to learn about the law and how he really put it out in a simple manner. And that gave me some inspiration to be able to go on and to become a lawyer. And now in my legal career, Pierre Campbell has always been a friend. I miss him very much. He's my mentor. He's under open door policy, all of us. And I recall fondly, when I was working at the Attorney General's chambers, we had to do a case with QC. And it was really a tremendous privilege because when you're there and he was on the floor, he articulated so well, he was powerful in his delivery, and he made the law so clear and simple. And I really learned a lot. And at the end of the trial, we had a little discussion about certain points where I can improve. And he just said, you just do it your way in the confines of the law, but just ensure that you represent your client zealously. I miss him very much. He definitely is a legend in my book. I know that Law New, all of the viewers and the listeners, the general public generally will have to say that he has been a blessing to all of us. He has expounded the law, free advice, sound legal advice, and he was practical. So kudos to Law New and Mandela. I wish you all the very best and as you take over this new law, and I pray that we continue to go from strength to strength.
Well, Mr. Campbell was a kind-hearted person. He humble and was always willing to share, and that's something that every and anyone can copy. So he will be missed, that's for sure. And I always enjoyed his little stories. So it's sad and unfortunate, but he'll be missed.
Okay. I know Mr. Campbell. He's a friend of the family. I'm married to his cousin, and he is a lovely, very kind and concerned gentleman. He's never too hurry or too busy to listen to you whenever you need any help from him. We would miss him tremendously. He would have impacted St. Vincent and the Grenadines in so many different ways. And we know he was very instrumental in getting us to understand what we should do concerning our rights. And he would be really missed.
So how has Mr. Campbell impacted your life?
Well, I don't think I could condense that in a matter of minutes, but what I could say is that Mr. Campbell was a very meticulous lawyer and a very meticulous person. Everything that he did had to be done a certain way, as you know, Mandela, and everything that he did had to be done with excellence. And that is what he drove his chambers by. That is what all of us who worked in his chambers had to abide by. And it has been very impactful even on my own life as an attorney and as a person, being meticulous in all that I do and striving for excellence in all that I do.
And how has Law and You assisted you over the years?
Well, even before I became a lawyer, there was the Law and You, and I was able to learn a lot from a very small age of what the law entailed, particularly in relation to estates and succession and deeds and passing on properties to persons. It was very, very instructive, and I believe this program needs to continue, Mandela, and it is very instructive for persons, especially those persons who in the beginning can't afford to go to a lawyer to get advice, so they need to learn and to understand the basics in terms of what is expected of them and what they could go to a lawyer and seek further guidance on.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you to all those who participated in this episode number 1000 of The Law and You. And I really have to say, to God be the glory, great things he has done. My father did not live to see 1,000, but I am sure that he would be very pleased that the program has continued as of now up to the 1000th program of The Law and You, and we like to thank those who have been supporting The Law and You over the years. Special thank you to SVG-TV, Mr. Paul McLeish, Miss Madeline Gibson, and all of those, the cameramen, the producers who have been there over the years. We are extremely grateful for the support that you have given to my father and the continued support even after his passing. May God continue to bless and prosper you. So we are celebrating 1,000 programs of The Law and You, and we like to thank the nation for tuning in and for really giving my father encouragement over the years to keep on keeping on with the law and you. So this is program 1000, and I just want to thank you again, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, for the remarkable impact that you've had in the life of my deceased father. May the good Lord continue to bless us all.
The Law and You, a look at laws in St. Vincent and the Grenadines which affect our daily lives. The Law and You, presented by lawyer panel R. Campbell QC, and brought to you on SVG-TV as a public service.